I know. It's time for the No Half Step in Hockey coverage, so let me deliver the goods. It's time for operation number 697. You see it right here. Operation number 697. For the Renegades of puck at this moment in hockey history, the Nashville Predators currently find themselves in 6th place in the Central Division after 36 games played. They have a record of 16, 14, and 6. 38 points has them 1 point now behind 5th place St. Louis, 2 points behind 4th place Colorado, and 6 points behind the automatic playoff cutoff line. So going into the middle part of the season right here, the Nashville Predators find themselves only a couple of points from the automatic playoff cutoff line. That's something we'll start discussing a lot more in the second half of the season, but I just wanted to make note that the Nashville Predators had actually significantly closed the gap in the standings here on the teams that are just above them in the standings. Dallas is still in first place in the Central Division, and Winnipeg in second place. Then I mentioned Minnesota, Colorado, St. Louis, then Nashville, then you'll find Arizona. Nashville Predators have put a little bit more gap between themselves and the Coyotes, now 7 points ahead of Arizona. Chicago Blackhawks are in last place with one of the worst overall point totals in the NHL of only 20 points. They have 25 losses on the season in just 37 games played. Now, that's the standings wrap up for the Central Division. Let's get back to the Nashville Predators on the road, which is where their next several games will take place. Matter of fact, 5-game road trip is about to take place. Their road record 7-8-3 on the season. The Preds, with their last goal in that last game, that was their 100th goal of the season. They've given up 110 on the season. That's a goal differential of -10 on the season. Now, for the Nashville Predators, this 5-game road trip will begin in Carolina versus the Carolina Hurricanes. First of 2 regular season meetings between the Nashville Predators and the one-time division rival Carolina Hurricanes. They won't meet again until at Bridgestone Arena on April the 6th. For the Nashville Predators, after they finish up with the Carolina Hurricanes, it'll be a quick turnaround heading into Washington to take on the Capitals on Friday night, and then on Monday they will be in Ottawa. The 11th they will be in Toronto, the 12th in Montreal, and then back home on January the 14th versus the Buffalo Sabres. So almost 2 full weeks for the Nashville Predators on the road now, looking to make up some ground and points in the standings over in the Eastern Conference. For the Carolina Hurricanes, another impressive season for them so far, at least through this point. 25-7-6 is their overall record. They have 56 points. That's good for first in the Metropolitan Division on home ice. Also impressive record, 12-3-1, and you know the Nashville Predators have had plenty of difficulties going up to this Carolina Hurricanes team and going into their rink and securing victories. Plus 22 is the Canes goal differential on the season, and the Canes had been on an absolute incredible streak to end and begin the year in their schedule until running into a roadblock in their most recent game against the New York Rangers. Let's go back and recap the sample size of the most recent 5. Let's go back to December 23rd, just before the Christmas break. It was a 6-5 win versus the Philadelphia Flyers. After the Christmas break, a 3-0 victory versus Chicago, and then on the 30th, a 4-0 victory versus the Florida Panthers. Followed up on the first of the year with a 5-4 shootout win at the New Jersey Devils, falling at Madison Square Garden to the New York Rangers 5-3. Held a 3-2 lead in that game, but the New York Rangers had a huge comeback in a big third period to defeat the Canes at MSG. Now, the NHL ranks between these two teams. There is going to be a wide disparity between these rankings. The Carolina Hurricanes in the statistical metrics are top 10 in several categories. Let's go through and review. In goals for, the Nashville Predators are 27th in the NHL. Now listen, 2.72 is looking a lot better than it was 10 days ago, and the Nashville Predators certainly had an offensive outburst in recent games, but 27th overall in the NHL is still far underperforming on the season. Now the Carolina Hurricanes, 3.11 per season, 20th overall in the NHL. They may say that's underperforming for them with the significant amount of offense they've been able to put up in the last couple of seasons. In the goals against category, the Nashville Predators are 16th in the NHL. It's right there in the middle of the pack, 3.03 given up per game, while the Carolina Hurricanes are giving up 2.61 per game. That is 5th best in the NHL. When it comes to generating shots on nets, there's only one team in the NHL better than the Carolina Hurricanes, so they come in second, putting 34.9 shots on goal per game. UC Saros is probably going to be under a heavy workload. The Preds generate 31 shots on net per game, and that's 19th best in the NHL. Preds are giving up 33.3 against per game. That's 26th in the NHL. Well, get this statistical metric for the Carolina Hurricanes. Best overall in shots against, giving up a very limited and low number of only 26.4 per game. So the Nashville Predators 19th in shots for, the Canes first in shots against. The Nashville Predators are going to have to work very hard to generate their offense in this game. On the power play, the Nashville Predators are 28th in the NHL, 17.9% conversion rate. rate, or 22 out of 123 opportunities. The Carolina Hurricanes power play not doing much better. You might expect a lot more out of this team. 25th in the NHL, 18.9% conversion rate, 25 conversions on 132 opportunities. Now, the PK units are also very similar in rankings. The Nashville Predators 15th in the NHL, 79% kill rate, 26 power play goals against, while Carolina is 13th in the NHL, 26 power play goals against as well, the same number as the Nashville Predators. Now, when it comes to individual statistics, every team in the NHL has a significant amount of high-skilled players. Let's run down a listing. Let's start with the visiting Nashville Predators and their individual stats and scoring leaders. Philip Forsberg has been on an absolute tear, coming off some individual awards, coming off some also significant milestones for the franchise, including his 500th point, fastest Nashville Predators player ever to 500 points, only the third Nashville Predators player ever to get to 500 points. Highly impressive. He leads the team in scoring at this point in the season, 14 goals. That is number one on the team, the 14 goals. 19 assists is second, or is third on the team, and a total points 33, of course, leads the Nashville Predators in scoring. The captain, Roman Josi, has closed the gap significantly. 9 goals now in the season, 21 assists, 30 points. Matt Duchene's at 11 goals and 17 assists for 28 points. Mikhail Granlund, 4 and 20 for 24. And Nino Niederreiter picked up quite a bit of assists as of late. 12 goals, 9 assists now in the season, 21 points overall. So the Nashville Predators have 5 players over 20 points now on the season. UC Saros continues improving his numbers as this season goes along. The record overall, 13, 10, and 5, but a 9.15 save percentage, 2.76 goals against average. Really impressive stuff that he has done over the months of November and especially in December. Now, we go ahead and go over to the Carolina Hurricanes side of things. 17 and 20 for 37 points is the team lead in scoring right there. Svechnikov second on the team, 19 goals. That leads the Canes in total goals, 19, 14 assists, 33 points. Sebastian Aho at 12 goals and 18 assists for 30 points. Burns out there on the blue line, 5 and 23 for 28. And Nosen, 8 and 12 for 20. Now, Ranta in net, 10, 2 and 2, but also get this, Kochetkov also 10, 2 and 4, a 9.24 save percentage, 8.97 save percentage, so a little disparity right there, but a 2.08 goals against, a 2.62 goals against average. All really good and respectable numbers from the Carolina Hurricanes netminders. We'll have to see how they deploy their starting goaltender before the Nashville Predators. You have to anticipate going into a first-place rink that the Nashville Predators and John Hines will be starting their head netminder in UC Saros. To get you all started up for the Nashville Predators in their first of 5 road games in Carolina, Friday night in Washington. Nashville Predators going to have to manage that ice time as well. Quick turnaround headed off to Washington. Let's see what they can do against another first-place team. The roller coaster of the schedule continues, where the Preds take on a last-place team, a first-place team, a last place, a first place, and so on and so on. It's just been that way as of late. We'll be back immediately with the Rebirth